Morning, and welcome to Atheist Church today. I think that music can really change the world. Not just in some idealistic way, but really. I mean, I look at my father's life. I think he would have had a hard time being racist when he grew up having his soul moved by Chuck Berry and Little Richard, and he connected with some humanity in these black men through that music that affected the way that he looked at people of different races when he went out into the world as well. I can say that music has affected me greatly, and when I tell the story of losing my religion, I can't do it without mentioning Oingo Boingo. The theists who listen to this ought to have a blast with this one, but yes, I did lose the last strings of my Christianity at an Oingo Boingo concert. It went something like this. I had lost the, I'll call it the intellectual components of my religion. As I mentioned in video that I put up last week, I lost my religion from doing some reading. 3 particular books really affected me. I read Hesse's Siddhartha, and that got me thinking. That's a great book. Yeah. I read The Antichrist by Nietzsche, and third book, the Holy Bible. These were leading to all kinds of intellectual doubts, but I still had the emotional aspect of my faith. I still knew that when I went to church, I felt something. And then I went and saw the band, my first big concert, Oingo Boingo, at the Henry J. Kaiser Memorial, or the Henry J. Kaiser Auditorium in the Bay Area of California. And it blew my mind. The Grateful Dead were going to play there that weekend, I think the next night. And so all the Deadheads were camped out front. I'd never seen a Deadhead before and didn't know anything about that scene. And a lot of them came into the Oingo Boingo show. Oingo Boingo just played forever. They kept getting called for encores, and I have to digress for a minute. Back then, a band would finish, the house lights would come on, and the audience would simply refuse to leave, and the band would come out and play some more. And it was an encore, and we really called for an encore. We insisted on an encore. Now, the band plans how many encores they'll do. If the house lights don't come on, you know they're coming back, so you pretend that you're requesting them back, and then they come out and go, well, all right, one more. Once the house lights do come on, everyone leaves, because that's the sign. Oh, they did all the encores they planned to do. This isn't the way it has to work. I'm telling you guys, we used to get bands to play all night, and people go, oh, you hear about that, but how come it doesn't happen anymore? It doesn't happen anymore because you go home when the house lights come on. So Oingo Boingo played forever. It was incredible. Danny Elfman joking that they were having to dip into their silly songs. But something was happening to me. Here I was having the kind of experiences emotionally, at the time I would have even said spiritually, that I had in church. And I'm looking at Danny Elfman like Satan incarnate. He even played Satan in the great movie his brother made, The Forbidden Zone. And thinking, really? He's moving the Holy Spirit through this crowd? And I'm looking at the crowd and thinking, this is something else. This is something other than what they told me it was at church. And that was the beginning of the fracturing of that last component of my faith, the part that was based on personal experience. So, what can create a religious experience? Well, music, obviously. And almost every religion uses music. Coming together in a crowd, definitely. Chanting works really good and has musical qualities to it. Almost every religion involves some form of chanting, call and response, etc. I think that it's funny because when rock and roll, you watch these old documentaries, and as rock and roll was first coming around, they were so afraid of it. And I almost feel like I'm justifying those fears. I hope that somewhere there's some old man who we all laughed at when we saw him on a 25th anniversary of Rolling Stone documentary, who's watching this and going, I told you, there's no good in them music. In honor of Mother's Day, I'd also like to share a few quick stories of the struggles my poor mother had with my music. Now, my mom was no censor, and when a friend's mother called my mom because I'd left the Cure's Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me at her house, and read some of the lyrics from it to my mom brought it to me, said, I'm kind of concerned about these lyrics, some of them seem really negative. And I said, yeah, well, Mom, life is sometimes negative. And she said, yeah, but just, don't spend too much time with that. And she gave me my actually it was a tape, not a CD, because I'm old. And she gave me my cassette tape back. She was concerned when she saw, a Danzig tape in my room. But only once did my mom ever throw a piece of music away. And I think that I asked for it. I left it on the dining room table. And she had, the PTA parents over, and there it was in all its glory. The band Big Black with their wonderful album, Songs About Fucking. So, right into the trash can that went. So, and then my mom also let me read pretty much everything I wanted to read, with one exception. She wouldn't let me bring the Book of Mormon into the house, because it was given to me. I don't know if she would admit that this is why, but it seems suspect since she let me read everything else. The Book of Mormon was given to me by a very cute Mormon girl, and I think my mom figured this this one could win him over, and so she stood in the way of that book coming into the house. It got in anyway. So yeah. And my mom is the coolest lady in the world, and she's a Christian, and her son's an atheist, and for anybody out there who has similar situations with their parents, I hope that on this Mother's Day, your mom is able to hear "I love you, Mom," and concentrate on all the things you have in common, and I hope you're able to experience that as well, and that doesn't become some kind of isolating, separating thing, because it certainly doesn't need to. So I'm going to go visit with my mom this morning and my brother John, who's a minister, and we're going to have a great time. And later me and John will probably smoke some illegal Cuban cigars. I put up a new performance video this week. It's not safe for work and not safe for minors, but it's called Watching Porn Backwards, and it's from the CD taping I did. The video quality is horrible, but remember, we were there to tape a CD, not record a video. I just happened to run my camera while I was there. Anyway, I think it's a very funny clip. Thanks to everyone who's been subscribing and rating my videos. The subscriptions are growing like crazy, and I really appreciate all the ratings. And one last request, in the comment section, give me some ideas for future Atheist Church. I know I've asked you to do this before, and I haven't gotten around to all of your ideas, but I really do appreciate them, and I will try and get to most of them. So please, share with me what you think would be good ideas for future churches, and thank you so much. And get in that comment section and let's talk about music and all the evil therein. Thanks. Bye-bye.